How's it going, everybody? I am Jason of Jason's Realm here, and today I am here bringing you guys our NFL Week 18 regular season finale recap video. And I guess without further ado, I do want to say one thing actually before we start. Huge thank you to all you guys for the support over this past weekend. We've had a record-breaking weekend in not just subscribers gained, but views gained. We also hit 200 subscribers. Huge thank you to you guys. I wouldn't be here without you guys. I mean, I'd be doing this if no one was watching, but you guys are really helping me really gain more of a footing, so I actually have more of an opinion in the football community, and I greatly appreciate that. I'm forever indebted to you guys. But let's just go ahead and get right into this before we keep dallying. So up first, we had the Kansas City Chiefs beating the Las Vegas Raiders 31-13. Now this game was just a Kansas City domination from start to finish. Kansas City had it. They owned it out the gate and never turned back. They were able to clinch the number 1 seed out of this as well because the NFL canceled the Bills game. Bills-Bengals, that was canceled. So the Chiefs just needed to win to clinch the number 1 seed or have the Bills lose. Well, they clinched number 1 seed, and Vegas had nothing to play for, so except for draft position, so the loss was a win for them. Up next, we have the de facto AFC South Championship game between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars winning this one 20-16, and they played well. They played well from behind. They were behind the whole game, either behind or tied, until they won it at the very end, which was just insane. The Jacksonville's played this well from behind. They are looking really good now going into the playoffs, and they are going to play a Chargers team who has been up and down and up and down. So they have a chance to make a run. Let's go Jags. Meanwhile, Tennessee, they just completely flopped. They had the game, but they choked it. And they are just not looking good now. You could tell that core is just regressing big time, and they are not going to be looking good over the next couple years. That's the Jags division to lose for the foreseeable future. Up next, we have an upset in the South. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers falling to the Atlanta Falcons by a score of 30-17. Now, it was a tight game, but really meaningless. I mean, Atlanta was jostling for draft position. Tampa Bay, I mean, they already were locked in on the 4 seed. There was nothing that could have changed, so woohoo to Atlanta. Looking good. Maybe Desmond Ridder is their guy of the future, looking at it now. But yeah, up next we got the New England Patriots falling to the Buffalo Bills by a score of 35-23. Now this game was a lot closer than expected. Everyone thought Buffalo, after the Damar Hamlin situation, was going to blow out the Patriots. Well, that didn't happen. New England hung around in a must-win game, and they had a chance. They had many chances, but didn't quite clinch the playoffs. So as a result, they're out, and Buffalo was able to take the number 2 seed and face the number 7 seed, who we'll find out who it is a little bit later. Also, I do want to take a little break from the action right now to let you guys know that as we did cross 200 subscribers, we do have a public Discord server. It is now live, and if you want to join, we need your help. We need your help to help make prediction videos. We're hoping to do a community prediction where we'll poll you guys every week, and you guys get to react on Discord as to who you think is going to win, and we will have a community pick for each and every game. And also, you get to hang out, chill with us 24/7, 365. We will have occasional Discord exclusive streams, so to speak, where we'll hop on a stage room, and me and the crew will just kind of do our thing in there. So if you want to join that, link will be down below. But let's just get into the next game. We have the Baltimore Ravens falling to the Cincinnati Bengals by a score of 27-16. Now, Cincinnati, they owned Baltimore this whole game. It was not as close as the game led on to believe. The score was not a representation of how close it was. Baltimore lost any chance of hosting a playoff game, and Cincinnati said, screw the NFL. You try to take away our home game, we are going to take it right back. And that's what they did. So now they get to play Baltimore again next week in the wild card round. Woohoo for them. Well, up next, we got the Minnesota Vikings beating the Chicago Bears. And Minnesota just dominated that whole game. Just complete domination. Chicago just shut up and tried to win the number 1 seed by tanking. Minnesota proved they might be back, I guess it's good to have the win going into the playoffs, so we'll have to see how they can fare. But they will be facing against the New York Giants, which could be up, which could be down. We don't know what we're going to get out of them any given week. So that's good. And Chicago was able to win the first overall pick because Houston failed the tank, as we'll soon find out. Well, speaking of Houston, we're going to their game where they were able to beat the Indianapolis Colts by a score of 32-31. It was a close game throughout, and it was a really good Tank Bowl to watch. I mean, Indianapolis tried to abandon the tank and get a win by coming back, but then Houston said, no, you tank, we'll win. And they just got hot at the wrong time in the season. They lost the tank just because of that. And because they now have the number 2 pick, the Bears have a chance to trade out of the number 1 pick and trade it to a QB-needy team for a big haul of draft picks. So, I don't know if Houston gets the guy they want now. It's going to be real tough on them. But up next, we have the New York Jets falling to the Miami Dolphins by a score of 11-6. Now, it was a close game with no offense. The game ended on a safety, ironically enough. But the Jets, they failed the Steelers, they failed themselves, they couldn't win, and they saved the tank, I guess, by doing it. But really, just a bad game overall for them. Flacco did not look great either. And Miami was able to clinch the 7 seed in the AFC with this win, but there are concerns. If Tua doesn't play, there are some major concerns for this team going forward. Can they actually hang around without Tua? And no, they cannot. I'm spoiling it now. They can't. They just don't hang around at all. Well, up next, we're watching the Carolina Panthers beat the New Orleans Saints by a score of 10-7. It was a tight game. Carolina able to escape with the win, but was it truly a win whenever both these teams are eliminated and they're jostling for tank position? Not so much. New Orleans, they were able to get the loss, and it puts them in a higher position in the draft. Carolina looking all right, but they fell in draft position as a result. So really, they lost by winning. Well, up next, we got the game I was at. Now, if you haven't already, go over to our channel, check out the shorts. I was at that game, and man, it was a great game to be at. I uploaded about 3 shorts here, uploaded about 8 videos on another platform. Great game to watch. It was insane just watching it. The environment was great, and it was a close game at the beginning. The Browns, it looked like the Steelers were going to choke it and just bomb it, but then they got their stuff together and they started going. And that's why my voice is a little hoarse right now, because I was at that game, and whenever I go to a game, I yell my head off, man. But that was a great game to watch. Either way, Cleveland just fell flat. They were able to save a higher pick. And Pittsburgh, they had a chance to make the playoffs. And Tomlin is still having seasons above 500, no matter what happens. He has not had a losing season in 16 seasons. And yeah, unfortunately, the Steelers not making the playoffs because the Jets failed them. Well, up next, we got the New York Giants falling to the Philadelphia Eagles 22-16. It was a close game where Philadelphia was able to pull ahead late and win it. The Giants tried to fight hard against a division rival, screw them out of the number 1 seed, and force them to play in the wild card round. But it didn't happen, and Philadelphia was able to clinch the NFC East and the first round bye with this win. Well, up next, we got an embarrassing game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. The Commanders blowing out the Cowboys 26-6. Complete domination by Washington, and the embarrassing thing is, Dallas was playing their starters. They were trying to win the NFC East. Meanwhile, Washington was playing a 3rd-string rookie quarterback. Like, what? Yeah, Dallas, they're going to lose in embarrassing fashion to the Buccaneers if they play like this. Domination on Washington's part. They had nothing to play for, but they came out and just dominated for no reason. Just an insane game to watch. Well, up next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers falling to the Denver Broncos by a score of 31-28. It was a close game with nothing on the line, considering what happened in the early window with the Ravens losing. The Chargers were locked into the 5 seed no matter what happened. It was just a really nothing burger of a game. I mean, Denver was able to get the moral victory, saying, hey, we might be able to salvage something with Russell because our offense is looking a lot better now. But it was nothing meaningless for the Chargers. They'll get to go into the playoffs after a loss and hopefully pull it together and get some wins. Well, up next, we got the Los Angeles Rams falling to the Seattle Sea Chickens 19-16. It was a tight contested game, but penalties and key mistakes really made the outcome of that game. The Rams, they fought hard to play spoiler to the Seahawks, but were unable to do it. If the Rams would have won, the Lions would be in the playoffs right now. But no, the Seahawks were in the playoffs. Seattle eliminated Detroit and looked all right, but I still have concerns. I mean, they're going to have to play San Francisco next week. That's all I got to say. They got to play San Fran next week. As much as I hate San Francisco, they're going to blow out the Seahawks. No doubt. Well, up next, we have the Arizona Cardinals just getting whooped and berated by the San Francisco 49ers 38-13. San Francisco domination after a slow start. Arizona just shut up and took it. I mean, it was just awful for them. Meanwhile, Arizona was able to get a higher draft pick, and San Fran playing with everything on the line for the number 1 seed, but Philadelphia was able to get that. And last but not least, we have Sunday Night Football between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. The Lions winning this one 20-16, and it was a close game, but once again, the penalties, the miscues, all that kind of stuff, and the mistakes just killed any sort of offense early, and it killed teams trying to make a comeback late. Both teams when they tried to make comebacks late. Green Bay lost their way out of the playoffs on a winnable game, and Detroit had nothing to lose. They wanted to play spoiler for the Packers, and they did by eliminating the Packers. Well, I guess I should probably take a look here and give you guys an update for the schedule for this week. It still has yet to be officially released, but we do have matchups for the wild card round of the playoffs. On the AFC side of things, we have the number 7 seed Miami Dolphins at the number 2 seed Buffalo Bills. We have the number 6 seed Baltimore Ravens at the number 3 seed Cincinnati Bengals, and the number 5 seed Chargers at the number 4 seed Jags. All looking good. I'm mostly looking forward to that Chargers-Jags game, though. I'm looking forward to watching that one. On the NFC side of things, we have the number 7 seed Seahawks going to the number 2 seed San Francisco 49ers. The number 6 seed New York Giants going to the number 3 seed Vikings. And the number 5 seed Dallas Cowboys going to the number 4 seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, looking at some interesting games there. Both the Chiefs and the Eagles have a bye this week. So we are looking forward to seeing when the NFL will release the schedule for this week. But it should be over the next day or two. And we are looking forward to that. But I guess at this point, I should just say, hey, thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. If you are still here, you probably like our content, so why not smash that like button while you're here. Also, check the description. We do have a little comment for if you guys do get to make it to the end of the video. Make sure you comment that below if you are still around. And also, huge thank you again, guys, for the support over the past weekend. And don't forget to join our Discord server if you want to be part of our video production process, or even if you just want to chat and hang out with us. Anytime, any day of any week. And I guess with that, I will see you guys later, hopefully tomorrow for Power Rankings. Peace out and have a good one.